Figma is going to IPO and go public. Very exciting news. Obviously, they tried to be acquired by Adobe. They couldn't be acquired by Adobe because there was too much monopolistic practice behind Adobe. So now you're going to have two very big players on the public stock exchange. Acquisitions of smaller design companies is probably set to just rise massively because now Adobe can safely buy heaps of little companies and Figma can safely buy heaps of little companies. So if you're going to start a design product, good time to do it. They will have heaps of money going into this. The market's going to be pretty confident in these numbers that they've been doing for the last 12 months. Very exciting.
We're looking at you, paper.
Yeah, they have like 70 million in Bitcoin, which is cool. That's like a lot of the big companies now just storing wealth in Bitcoin as a hedge in case the US dollar's like,
look at that 109K, bro. Just cranking. It's because everyone's going like, it's the new safe thing.
Mm-hmm.
Going to remove, like even Stripe's going hard into it. Anyway, we're distracting. Company files. So this was interesting. I saw this on X today. It was like, Figma makes 220 million a year in rev. Figma spends 110 mil a year on AWS. Figma is just an AWS wrapper. Now,
I saw the best breakdown of wrappers like that the other day. It was like, NVIDIA is just a TSMC wrapper.
Yeah. It's great. But also, just quickly, that's all wrong because if that was the case, they're getting wrecked. But the 220 is not a year, it's a quarter. So they're actually making like $749 million in revenue and they're spending 110 mil on AWS.
Is that so they're actually spending 110 on AWS?
Yeah, they're actually spending 110 million on AWS.
I like to think that I contribute to like 0.01% of that because the amount of images I store in Figma. Oh, sorry, guys.
It's actually
just pen space.
Oh, just me. AI can. Still can't get it.
Can you go to a different site quickly, Zach? Because I think we're actually on a Bitcoin site. I think the link I put, I don't actually care that much about the Bitcoin. This will do it.
There we go. Going public, boy. So you know what's nice? I wonder where all that $1 billion from Adobe went.
Yeah.
Is that listed anywhere?
Well, it would just be in their funds somehow. I don't think it would be included as revenue this year because it would be amortized over 5 years from the date of the first like Adobe signing thing. I was talking to someone the other day and they were saying that Dylan Fields was on a podcast and he just got lucky with that. Everyone's like calling him a genius for getting that $1 billion. He's like, the lawyers probably just spoke to me one day and said, you should have a clause in here that protects your work. And he went, okay. Like he didn't give it any thought. The lawyers were just like, you should chuck that in. Got $1 billion. So that's cool. Thanks, lawyers.
Yeah, I wonder how much their lawyer costs would have been to even just pen the deal. That's why you need that because like if we're going to enter this
400 million,
yeah, it's like we got a 400 million. I don't know, that seems excessive, but yeah, it'd be a lot of millions at least. Like maybe it is. Maybe it is 400 million. I'm like just doing the multiple on what we spent.
Yeah, Realbase was a couple
$5.
$5.
Wow, that's huge, man. Do you think? So they said they did confidentially. I mean, how do you confidentially file for IPO? And are they doing that?
You launch a not an S1 first. You launch an S1, but it's like trimmed down. I can't remember what the number is, S10 or something. And that's because you don't want to announce to the market your numbers. But now you have to put all this stuff out 30 days before you IPO or whatever. So it's just two different things that you do. Everyone does it in the same way, just to keep the hype down until they're ready to announce numbers.
Because I think maybe you can get rejected too, yeah?
Yeah, you can get blocked by certain things. And then also I think if you might want to optimize when you do this one because your numbers look better after the financial year versus mid, depending on how you do your like attributing where revenue comes in.
Yeah. And then also what's probably I've just seen there why the AWS bill would be that stupid. It's not going to be storage of images. It's going to be because of the AI usage. Think about all the AI features that Figma's recently launched. This is really cool. Do you know what? I really like this story because Figma, I remember when we've spoken about this before, when Figma came out and Daryl's like, we need to use Figma. And I was like, oh, not another tool switch. And they just changed the app.
Such a good journey, hey. It's such a good journey. I'm so against IPOs as like a company thing, but you can clearly see that you can get to a size where you have no other option. You can't stay private at that size. You can't be bought by Adobe because you're so big, they're not allowed to buy you. Like you've peaked success. This is a time when I'm like, okay, it makes 100% sense. You got to IPO at this stage.
It just allows people to take some chips off the table, right? Like, it's also like I mean, if the company's making heaps of money and stuff, but then now like, there's a point where growth slows. Like you acquired every designer. Now you start. Now I'm acquiring everywhere, and it's like, okay, well, now I've acquired every customer. Now how do I keep growing? Well, I have to buy business. This is where I think Apple actually has fumbled so hard. They have so much money, and they haven't made the right purchases in the last 5 to 10 years. Like, why didn't you buy OpenAI? Why didn't you buy Anthropic? Like, why? Like, they were just starting out. You could have just gone, okay,
and they would have done it.
Purchased.
Yeah.
Okay, purchased. Think of any of the big players that are coming up now, and there are big companies out there. Why don't they just go like, yes, thank you. We'll just
could have been
acqui-hire that
sweeping
whole
so
team.
many more. Yeah.
It's crazy because I even saw an article this week about Apple again, and this is just on the thing, like being IPO allows you to scale past, and it ends up just being you just buying companies. That's how you're growing. You're just acquiring new companies and then new verticals and stuff for you to go up. But like they're now looking at like wrapping OpenAI and Anthropic's models, and you're like, everyone's like, well, Apple's whole thing's about privacy. You do that, now you don't have that play anymore. Just a fumble of what they can do. But this is what happens when you grow to the size, and what like they're worth over $20 billion, and like how long are they? How old are they?
Yeah, to be 10 years now.
Yeah, 10 years. So, but like this is what we always say: 8 to 10 years to build a monster.
Yeah. Oh, that's like 10 years is probably from earliest launch, 5 years before that to build as well, I would say. They're probably at like
initial release 8 years ago.
Yeah, and they took 3 to 5 years to build before they released.
Yeah.
Which is a massive
commitment. On them. Good on them.
Yeah,
I hope he can keep control of the company and keep it steering in the right ways after IPO. That's my only major concern is like once you've got investor reports and investor confidence drops because you're not doing X, Y, Z, then you have to start moving in the ways that the market wants you to move as opposed to what you think is best for the business. But if anyone's capable of doing it, it's probably him because he's spent a lot of time fighting off what I imagine is average advice from certain people.
How is Canva a rival to Figma?
Please, the second biggest design company.
Yeah, but they're not a rival. Like Figma and Canva makes posters and template crap, and Figma
target
design.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like it takes market share either way because some people who would end up using Figma if there was no better option use Canva, and the other way around as well.
Yeah. So then Canva will go lifetime as well. Then you'll have Canva, Figma, and Adobe.
Is Canva not public?
Has filed for a public listing. No. Biggest initial public things. So the design was last at 19 billion, half of the size of Canva's 49 bill. Wait. Oh, Figma just filed. So maybe Canva is already.
Canva's already public.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Man, I don't know. As a new Figma fanboy, I don't know. It's hard to go back to Photoshop, dude. There's a couple of things missing, but generally, just the fact it's all in browser, speed,
and the quality that it puts out is better.
Yes, it's nice.
I reckon.
And actually, the AI implementation stuff is some of the best I've seen in a design tool.
Oh,
it doesn't feel cheap. It actually feels really nice. So see how it goes.
You're probably only 5 years away from Adobe having no competitive moat anymore.
It's just the buy-ins.
Yeah, except for Adobe Acrobat, brother. No one's touching that yet. No one. It's too boring. They've done the boring stuff. They're like
the Excel.
Yeah, but what are they going to do in their business? Is like just start charging 10x more for it.
Yeah, and who's doing InDesign? Like Premiere's like the thing with Adobe is they've got so many tools. So it's like yeah, come after that one, but we got this one as well. And like they were smart. They tried to buy Figma, but they couldn't. Yeah. Then obviously like DaVinci. Is a competitor to Premiere, but there's a couple of things, but people still Premiere is the industry standard, so it's like cool, and they just need to probably do a rebuild. It's faster. And then like people are like, why am I using DaVinci? But like DaVinci is great. So, but then also buy DaVinci.
Yeah,
if you can. It's probably too expensive.
Probably not allowed to buy.
But it's probably not 20 billion.
No.
Crazy boys.